Hello guys, this is Shiju and today we are going to understand how to create a REST endpoint using Node and Express application. And once we create Node application, we will containerize this Node application using Docker. So let's start with our demo. So the prerequisite for this demonstration, this implementation is first we should have Node installed in our system. We should have a Docker installed if we are running Docker commands, right? So these are the an ID. So the ID of your interest, right? So I will be using Visual Studio Code, so you can see on the screen. So let's start with one project. So let's create a project. Hello world. Mm, uh, okay. So let's get into this. Uh, okay. Uh, uh, and we need a package .json, as we learned in last video. So package.json is kind of package manager, so through which we npm command manages all the execution of the program, right? So we can run npm init, so it will create one default package.json. Mm, uh, Let me control C instead of using this. Let run y, so it should not ask all the question. So it will. Okay, so once this command is executed, you can see there is one package.json is created. So it has some attributes. You can go through it, and uh, so npm will read this file, and it will download dependency and execute script accordingly. Yeah, so now we need index.js, right? So let's create new file, index.js. It's because we need to create a web application. So all all the code will be written in this index.js. Since we are creating using Express applications, so mm, let's search it. Express sample code. uh, Express. Okay, so this is the official documentation of Express. Here you can see this is the program which is used. Although, okay, now this is listening on port number 3000, right? And we need npm install express, yeah, because we need express dependency to run execute this program. So here you can see we are importing. So as of now it's only code, right? We cannot execute it, right? If we need to start this command using npm, then this express module should be available in application, right? So how we can include it? So ideally it should be part of package.json, right? So package.json tell npm, okay, these dependency needs to be downloaded. So when we run npm down install npm install express, that's mean the latest version of express will be included in package.json and dependency will be downloaded. Let's do it. Okay, sorry. So now you can see something is running. Yeah, so it's downloading express. So a new folder is created, node module. All the required dependencies is downloaded inside node module, and the version of the latest version of Express has been mentioned inside package.json. Yeah. So now if I need to run this index.js, right? So the basic command, which npm command to run node, the node command, that is node index.js. Yeah. So now it's listening on port number 300. Yeah, let's open. It's 3000, sorry. So hello world is there. Yeah, as soon as you change anything in this world, let's use two exclamation sign. uh, let's stop this and run it again. Yeah, so hello world is there, but everything, since it's a the command, we can create a short key of uh, npm start, so it should run node index.js, right? So I mean, instead of directly running node, we can use npm command as well. So npm is node package manager. If I run npm start, so ideally the meaning of start is written in this package.json, and this npm will scan this package.json, and it will execute the command mentioned against this start command. Okay, so let me run it. Yeah, so here you can see it's running an example app listening on 3000, and if I run it again, so it's available. Yeah, so now I stopped it, and now we need to dockerize the application. Yeah, so let's create one file, because this is the basic file which is required to create a docker file, right? Hmm. Okay, first of all, we need a base image, right? Where all this index, what will happen in the container first, right? What we need to do, first of all, we need a container which contain, we need a image, I mean, we need an environment where node is installed, where we can run this index.js, right? And before that, we also need package.json, so that all the dependency which is required by this index.js is downloaded, right? So we need a base image, right? So the base image, if you go, I mean, node also provide docker base image. So let's open docker, let's go to docker hub. So this is the docker container, docker image registry, from where we can search various images and directly use in our code, right? If I talk about basically, I've logged into my account, John1093 is my account. You will find various images already uploaded into this registry, right, for the various type of tutorials, right? So if I search here node, so okay, this is the Docker official image. If I click here, then in tags you will find various type of tags. So if I directly run docker pull node latest, so this latest tag will be downloaded on my local Docker environment. So the latest image will be downloaded, right? So instead of using this and so pulling, I want to use that in docker file. Yeah, so let's create that. So this, the from is the keyword which required to mention the base image, and let's say it's latest. Yeah, and then we need to define the work directory. So inside this container we need to define some specific directory where all this code will be copied, right, and angular dependency will be downloaded, right? So that is defined using work directory. So the content assistant is already provided by this Visual Studio Code, because that the Docker plugin is already integrated, I basically use slash apps to store all the files, right? And next, once we this file is created, see, whenever we create the Docker image, right? So every time one line is executed and one base image is created, right? And the subsequent steps will be executed, and that will use the image which is created in last line. So this is kind of chained process, yeah. So now what we need to do, we need to copy all the current data into app, yeah. So we are copying into app all the current data. So what is current data? We need package.json, we need index.json, log and node module, everything will be copied. Ideally it will be, I mean, it will build and download all the dependency inside the container itself when we are when we will run npm install, because we also need to we will not copy this node module. So later on we will learn that how we can create a ignore file, docker ignore file, through which we can just ignore some of the docker file to be copied, yeah. So for the timing, let's copy everything. We'll look into it later, that how we can filter out something, how we can create a optimized code so that entire data is not copied again. And because in next step, what we are doing, we are running npm install, yeah, npm install. So what npm install does, let's say if you run npm install here in this command line, right? So it's going to read this package.json and it will download all the dependency which is mentioned inside package.json. It include all the transitive dependency as well, right? So the express is mentioned, express dependency mentioned, it will be downloaded that, right? So while we are creating docker container, because so that's mean we are already we want to download all the dependency as well, right? We are copying source code, we want to download, and we just want to run. So we are preparing our images using this docker file. So first we used base image, second we created one folder, and we are copying current data, we are copying current source code into app inside the container. So this is the current directory on my machine, and this is the folder inside the container. Then this command npm install will be executed, because once in line number 3 we'll copy package.json as well, and once package.json is already available in container, then npm install will be executed, which will read package.json inside the code, and it will download all the dependency. That's when it's going to create a node module inside this app folder, yeah. And now this is a container. Container is kind of virtual machine, and it's need to expose uh, a port, right, outside this. It's not virtual machine, but it's a container, but it's need to expose the port to the external system. External system is current machine. Let's say I'm running this container here, I cannot access directly this 3000, right, using this container. So this needs to be exposed, yeah. So expose 3000. Why 3000? Because we are serving this REST endpoint on port number 3000. That is the reason we mentioned this 3000. Later on we will be parameterized, we will parameterize all these thing, right? So we will look into it later, that how we can parameterize it. And next we need to run cmd uh, node index.js. Either we can run npm start as well, so there is no issue, and there are various way to execute it, but for now let's understand this, right? So let's understand this docker file. First we used base image, which already have node installed. Second, we created an app folder directory, and we are copying current data into app. and then we are installing all the dependency which is mentioned in package.json, then exposing the port to the external machine, and then we are running the code, right? So uh, now we need to build, right? Docker, first of all, we need to check, right, which version of Docker is available. Docker version, I guess it's Docker V. In help you can see, yeah, so it's showing hyphen version or hyphen V, yeah, as Docker hyphen V. So this version of Docker is installed on my machine. So now let's create image. For that we need to use docker build, and hyphen t is used for the tagging, and for tagging I would use John 1093 and hello hyphen node. So this is hello world program, right? So since it's related to node, and why I'm using Shitujon 1093, it's just kind of my profile name. As of now, this code will be built. This image will be created on my local machine only. I'm not publishing into Docker Hub. So this Shitujon 1093 is my profile name, Shitujon1093, right? So whenever I publish any image, I just use this Shitujon1093 slash dev project, right? So if you create your account, so this profile name would be different, right? So, and the next one we can mention the version after colon, we can version mention 1.0.0. So this is the first version. I can even create John 1093 slash hello world, mm, world uh, latest. So what I can do, probably, I mean, I'm creating multiple tags for instead of mentioning multiple tag, first let's understand this only, and current one. So that's mean the dot mean this docker build, this docker command need to read docker file available in current directory, in this dot file, and it needs to create image with this name, right, and tag it right in the current registry, right, local registry. So so the first part is my profile name, right? Second part is the application name or image name which is created, and third is the versioning. So it's a major minor version and version convention. I can create a different video for it, and how version needs to be managed. And the dot means where Docker file needs to be searched. So that's mean we did not mention any name here. So this is the default file name, capital D docker file. Rest all are in small case. So docker no, okay, if there is docker file is available, I can read it, right? So let's enter. So now you can see it's started building image, yeah. So see, it's creating everything, yeah. Let it build, and let it build. I'm pausing my video. Okay, so now you can see when we executed this docker build command, so it's downloaded, it's pulled node images from the repository and downloaded, right? So once image is already there, then it started started executing rest of the lines. So it's executed till fourth, right? So now line number 5 and 6 is part is to is for is the part of execution. So whenever we run Docker, right now we just created image, right? So we just prepared our environment, or we can say, let's say if I run Docker image ls. So here you can see there is one image which is available is Shitujon1093 hello node, and which is created just a minute ago, and the size is 1 GB. Yeah. So if I just clear it, and if I run this build command again, so it's very quick because the image is already there in local system. It's node image is already there in local registry, because this container registry is created in local as well as in it's already available in remote. If this image doesn't exist in local cache or local registry, it will fetch from the remote, right? So now in the last execution it's already available in local, so it did not download from the remote, right? So now we need to run, right? So while running, this cmd, this node index.js will be executed, right? So so uh, so we need to, the command which we need to use is docker run. uh, I can use -d. -d is to execute on detached mode. That's mean if we do not use this -d command, this execution will occupy this terminal, and we won't be able to run any command further. Probably we have to open new command prompt without using -d. So it will execute our server or this container in detached mode. Then we will type -v is the port, right? So there is one container port and there is one system port, right? So we need to provide some mapping. Yeah. So the mapping, the system port, for the first we need to mention 9090. Let's say we use 1990. This is our local machines port. Yeah. And 3000 is container port. Yeah. So we can use this way, and Shijijun 1093 hello node, and the tag version is 1.0.0, which is already there, right? Sorry. mm, Docker run hyphen 10.0. Yeah, let's hit enter. Yeah. So now there is one ID is displayed. It's a container ID which is executed. Yeah. So what we need to do, we can run docker container. Earlier we run docker image ls, right? Because at the time we using docker build command, we just created images. Now we are executing the image. Now that's mean container is already created. We can run docker container ls to list all the containers. So here you can see the first one. So 32 second ago, right? It's created 33 second ago, and this is the image name, this is the ID, and this is one of the random name which is created by the system. Yeah. Okay. So that's when container is running. Container ls means container is running. So now we need to hit. Okay. So we cannot directly use direct 3000. We will be accessing. We will access through 9090. Yeah. Let's open. Uh, it's already executed. 9090. If we hit 9090, you can see it's hello world. Yeah. So that's when it's returning. It's working. Yeah. Let me open a new browser and let me hit. So 9090, it's executing. Yeah, let's say index.js hello node world, And let's say if I create again, build again, uh, let me clear it. Yeah. Okay, first of all, let's stop the container, the command docker container ls. Uh, the command is not correct. Docker, okay, docker stop 75 the container ID. It will take some time, so you need to have a patience. Uh, okay, now run docker ls, and I will see that it's not here. So it's these are some Kubernetes pods, sorry, containers which are running, and we can check if we have Docker desktop. Yes. Okay, so you here you can see images in containers. There is no container which is running. So you are doing everything using command line. Yeah. Mm, let's rebuild it. Right. Let's run build command. And if we run like this, since we have done some changes in code in index.js, that's mean everything needs to be re-executed. Which thing needs to be re-executed? This run npm install. Yeah, so it's re-executed npm install. It did not, I mean, uh, so so this is the copy command, right? If you have done any changes in local file system, so it's going to copy everything, right? So since we have done changes in index.js, so from here it started executing the cached one work directory, right? And it's executed copy this one and copy this one, right? Till this everything is cached and it started execution from here, right? Because we have changed, so copy needs to be taken place and run npm install will work. See, see, most of the time developers, uh, most of the time developers make changes in code instead of making changes in package.json, right? So why this npm install? So this npm install is an expensive task, right? Because it needs to download all the dependency from the internet and create node module, right? So just to avoid, right, just to avoid, what we can do, we can probably just copy package.json separately. Yeah, so let's copy package. mm, let's copy everything to slash app, and let's move this here. All right, so we what we have done, right? So so instead of, see, whatever changes we will do in file, so the rare we will do we will make changes in package.json. Mostly we'll be making changes in our index.js only. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, let's rebuild. Yeah, it's downloading, it's copying. Okay, so all the step has been executed because we have done a lot of changes. Let's go here. Hello node world. I I am changed. Right. Now I changed index.js. This is source file. I did not do any change in package.json. That's when it should not run this step as well. Right. In new container which is to be built. uh, Sorry, in image. Yeah. I executed docker build, and here you can see what is happening. So this one is cached, this one is cached, this one is cached, and step number 5 is running. So it's copying everything. Yeah. We need to run. Probably we can run docker run command. Uh, yeah. mm, Docker containers ls. This way we can list all the running containers. Mm, yeah. So here you can see this is the new one. It's running, and if we hit here, let's refresh, and you can see. So here you can see it's okay. So this way we can create a node application express using express, and we can containerize the node application using docker. Yeah. And next video we will see how we can do everything on Google Cloud or any of the cloud. Yeah. Mm. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching this video.